For the past 6 years, I've lived the same routine. Wake up at 5 a.m., open the small bakery I manage, bake bread, serve customers, close at 8 p.m., go home to an empty apartment. My life isn't exciting. I'm divorced, no kids, no real hobbies. I exist more than I live. One day, a little girl appeared in the alley behind my bakery as I was throwing away the day's unsold pastries. She was maybe 8 years old, dirty clothes, tangled hair, but her eyes were bright, determined. She looked up at me and asked a question that broke my heart. "Do you have any expired cake?" Not fresh cake, not good cake. Expired cake. Like she didn't even expect something decent. Just leftovers. Garbage. I gave her 2 pieces of chocolate cake that night. She thanked me and ran off. I thought that would be the end of it. But she came back. Every single night for weeks. Always polite. Always asking for expired cake. Always taking 2 pieces. One for her, one for her little brother. I started to worry. Then one night, I followed her. And what I discovered changed my life forever. Before we dive in, have you ever met someone whose quiet strength humbled you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you love stories about unexpected connections and how one act of kindness can save more than one life, please subscribe so you don't miss our next one. Now let me tell you about Naya, the 8-year-old girl who taught me what it means to be brave. My name is Nolan Moore, and I manage Rose's Bakery on the outskirts of Seattle. It's not my bakery. I don't own it. I just run it for the owner, Mrs. Rose, who's 78 and mostly retired. She pays me decently. The work is steady. The customers are regulars who know my name. It's a good job. A safe job. And for the past 6 years, since my divorce, safe has been exactly what I needed. I had just started at this new job when everything ended. My ex-wife, Caroline, used to say I had no ambition. "You're 28, Nolan. You should want more than this. More than managing someone else's bakery. More than this tiny apartment. More than this." She meant me. I wasn't enough. So she left. Married a software engineer 2 years later. They have a baby now. I see the photos on Facebook sometimes before I remember I should stop looking. I don't blame her. She wanted a life that was going somewhere. I was just stuck, but stuck felt safe. And even more after the divorce, safe was all I could handle. It was a Tuesday night in late August when I first saw her. I was closing up. 8 p.m. The bakery had been quiet all day. Tuesdays usually were. I'd sold most of the bread but had leftover pastries. Croissants. Muffins. 2 big slices of cake that hadn't sold. Company policy. Nothing older than 12 hours gets sold. Mrs. Rose is strict about that. Fresh or nothing, Nolan. That's how we keep customers. So every night, I bagged up the leftovers and tossed them in the dumpster out back. Waste. But policy is policy. I was walking to the dumpster, trash bag in hand, when I heard a small voice. "Excuse me, sir?" I turned. A little girl stood at the mouth of the alley, maybe 8 years old. Skinny. Too skinny. Her clothes were dirty, a pink t-shirt with a stain on the front, and jeans that were too big. Her dark hair was tangled, like it hadn't been brushed in days. But her eyes. God, her eyes were so bright, brown and sharp and determined. "Do you have any expired cake?" she asked. I blinked. "What?" "Expired cake, or bread, anything you're throwing away." "How old are you?" 8. "Where are your parents?" "They're waiting for me." She said it quickly. Practiced, like she'd answered that question before. "Do you have any expired cake?" I looked down at the trash bag in my hand. Inside were 2 perfectly good slices of chocolate cake, just 12 hours old, still moist, still delicious, only expired because of an arbitrary policy. "Yeah," I said. "Hold on." I set the bag down, opened it, pulled out the cakes, found a clean plastic container from the back door, put both cakes inside, handed it to her. "Here, They're from today. Still good. Her face lit up. Thank you. What's your name? Naya. I'm Nolan. Are you sure you're okay? Do you need... I have to go. Thank you. And she ran, just like that, down the alley and around the corner before I could say another word. I stood there holding the empty trash bag, wondering what the hell had just happened. Naya came back the next night. Same time. 8 p.m. Right as I was closing. I'd saved 2 pieces of lemon cake for her. When she appeared, I already had them ready in a container. You came back, I said. Do you have some expired cake? I saved you some. Here. She took the container carefully, like it was fragile. Thank you. Naya, where do you live? Nearby. Do your parents know you're here? Yes. Are they okay? Do you need help? We're fine. Thank you for the cake. And again she ran. She came back every single night after that. For 3 weeks straight, Naya appeared at 8 p.m. Always polite, always asking, do you have any expired cake? I stopped throwing out the cakes, started saving the best ones for her. I tried to learn more about her, where she lived, who her parents were, why an 8-year-old was walking around alone at night asking for expired food. But Naya never gave details. What's your last name? I can't tell you. Where do you go to school? I don't. Why not? I just don't. Can I have the cake? I always gave her 2 pieces. Is one for you and one for someone else? My little brother. His name is Jude. He's 5. He loves cake. What about your parents? They're not hungry. That answer made my stomach turn. But I didn't push. I was afraid if I pushed too hard, she'd stop coming. And for some reason I didn't fully understand. I needed her to keep coming. Maybe because my life was so empty. Maybe because helping her felt like the only meaningful thing I'd done in years. Or maybe because every time I looked at Naya, this tiny 8-year-old asking for expired cake, I saw someone who needed help. And I'd spent 6 years not helping anyone, not even myself. 4 weeks after Naya first appeared, I started to worry. She was getting thinner, her face more gaunt, her eyes more tired. One night she stumbled when she reached for the container of cake. I caught her arm. When's the last time you ate? This morning. Naya, I'm serious. When? She looked down. Yesterday. Jesus Christ. Sit down. I can't. I need to get back to Jude. Sit down for 5 minutes, please. She hesitated, then sat on the curb outside the back door. I went inside, made her a ham and cheese sandwich, poured a glass of milk, brought both out. Eat. She devoured the sandwich in 4 bites, drank the milk in 3 gulps. I made another sandwich. She ate that too, but slower this time, trying to save half. For Jude? I asked. She nodded. Naya, where is Jude right now? Home. Where's home? I can't tell you. Why not? Because if I tell you, you'll call someone and they'll take us away. Take you away from who? She didn't answer. Naya, are your parents hurting you? My parents are dead. The words hit me like a punch. What? There was a fire 4 months ago. They died. Oh my God. Naya, I'm so sorry. Where are you living? Who's taking care of you? I'm taking care of Jude. I have to go. She stood up, grabbed the container of cake, and ran before I could stop her. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about Naya. 8 years old. Parents dead. Taking care of a 5-year-old brother. Living where? How? I Googled missing children Seattle. Found nothing about Naya and Jude. I called the non-emergency police line. I think I know a homeless child. What do I do? The operator told me to call Child Protective Services. Gave me a number. I hung up. If I called CPS, they'd take Naya and Jude, put them in foster care, probably separate them. And Naya had said, they'll take us away. She was protecting her brother. That's why she wouldn't tell me where they lived. That's why she ran every night. But she was 8. She couldn't take care of a 5-year-old alone. She was starving. He was probably starving too. I had to do something. The next night I made a decision. When Naya came at 8 p.m., I gave her the usual container of cake, plus a bag with sandwiches, fruit, and bottles of water. "This is for you and Jude," I said, "for the next few days." "Thank you, Naya. I need you to listen to me. I'm not going to call anyone. I'm not going to take you away from Jude, but I need to know you're safe. Can you show me where you're staying?" "No." "Why not?" "Because you'll make us leave." "I won't. I promise. I just want to make sure you're okay." She looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "If I show you, you have to promise. You can't call the police. You can't call anyone. You can't make us go to foster care." "I promise." "Say it again." "I promise, Naya. I won't call anyone. I won't make you go anywhere." She studied my face, then nodded. "Okay, follow me." Naya led me 6 blocks from the bakery. We walked in silence. She moved quickly, glancing over her shoulder every few seconds to make sure I was still following. We ended up in an abandoned parking lot behind a closed-down grocery store, overgrown weeds, broken asphalt, and in the back corner a rusted-out sedan, no wheels, windows cracked, clearly hadn't moved in years. Naya walked to the car, opened the back door. Inside, a little boy was curled up on the seat, wrapped in a dirty blanket, asleep. Jude. He was tiny, so small for 5 years old. His face was pale, his breathing shallow. "He's sick," Naya whispered. "He's been sick for a while." "What's wrong with him?" "I don't know. He gets really tired and shaky and confused, but when I give him cake, he feels better for a little while." My chest tightened. "Naya, how long have you been living here?" 2 months. We were in foster care before that. But they said they were going to send Jude to a different family, so we ran away." "You've been living in this car for 2 months?" She nodded. "It's not so bad in the summer, but it's getting colder at night." I looked at the car, at the broken windows, at the thin blanket, at the 5-year-old boy who was clearly sick. "Naya, you can't stay here." "We don't have anywhere else." "Yes, you do. You can stay with me." She stared at me. "What?" "My apartment. It's small, but it has heat, and food, and a real bed. You and Jude can stay there until we figure something out." "You're not going to call the police?" "No, I promise." "Or foster care?" "No." "Why would you do that?" "Because you're 8 years old, and you shouldn't be living in a car." Tears filled her eyes. "If they take Jude away from me, I'll die." "They're not going to take him away. I'm not going to let that happen." I carried Jude to my car. He barely woke up, just mumbled something incoherent, and fell back asleep. Naya sat in the back seat next to him, holding his hand. When we got to my apartment, I set Jude on the couch. He was burning up with fever. "When did he get sick?" I asked. "He's always sick," Naya said. "For months. He gets really weak and shaky, and he's always thirsty." "Does he eat?" "Not much. He says food makes him feel weird." "Naya, I need to take him to a doctor." "No, they'll call social services. He needs help. Look at him." She looked at Jude, at his pale, sweaty face, at his shallow breathing. "If you take him to a doctor, will they take him away from me?" "I won't let them, I promise." She was quiet for a long time. Then she whispered, "Okay." I took Jude to the emergency room at 11 p.m. I told them I was his uncle, that his parents were dead, and I was his temporary guardian. It wasn't true, but it was close enough. They ran tests. Lots of tests. Naya sat next to me in the waiting room, clutching my hand. She didn't cry, didn't speak, just held on. 2 hours later, a doctor came out. "Mr. Moore, can I speak with you?" I stood up. Naya stood with me. "She's his sister," I said. She can hear this. The doctor knelt down to Naya's eye level. Your brother is going to be okay, but he's very sick right now. Do you know what hypoglycemia is? Naya shook her head. It means his blood sugar is very low, dangerously low. That's why he's been weak and shaky and confused. His body isn't getting enough sugar to function properly. But I gave him cake, Naya said. Lots of cake. That's sugar, right? Yes. And that actually helped. The cake gave him temporary boosts of sugar. But the problem is, his blood sugar keeps dropping. He needs regular meals, protein, healthy food, and he needs to see a doctor regularly to make sure this doesn't happen again. Is he going to die? Naya's voice was barely a whisper. No, not if he gets the care he needs. But if he'd gone much longer without help. The doctor looked at me. Another week or two and he could have gone into a coma. You got him here just in time. They kept Jude overnight for observation. I sat in a chair next to his bed. Naya curled up on a second chair, finally asleep. I watched them both. These two kids who'd been living in a car for 2 months, who'd lost their parents, who'd run away from a system that wanted to separate them. And I thought about the question the ER intake nurse had asked when I brought Jude in. Are you his legal guardian? Temporary guardian. Parents deceased. She'd typed something into the computer, nodded, moved on. But I wasn't his guardian. I was a stranger who managed a bakery and gave expired cake to a homeless girl. If the hospital found out, they'd call CPS. Jude and Naya would go into the system. They'd be separated. Unless I did something. The next morning, Jude woke up. He looked better, still pale, but his eyes were clearer. He looked around the hospital room confused. Where am I? You're in the hospital, I said. You were sick, but you're okay now. He saw Naya asleep in the chair next to him. Naya? She's fine. She's just tired. Who are you? My name is Nolan. I'm a friend of your sister's. Are you going to take us away? No, I'm going to help you. People separate us. I'm not going to separate you, I promise. You promise? I promise. Jude looked at me for a long moment, then he nodded. Okay. I took Naya and Jude home, to my apartment, the next day. Jude was weak, but stable. The doctor gave me instructions. Regular meals, high-protein snacks, monitor his blood sugar. Follow up with a pediatrician within a week. I set them up in my bedroom, gave them the bed. I'd take the couch. Naya looked around the apartment like she'd never seen one before. This is where you live? Yeah. It's so big. It was 600 square feet. 1 bedroom, barely enough room for me. But to her, it was a mansion. You can stay here as long as you need, I said. What if someone finds out? Then we'll deal with it. They'll separate us. Not if I can help it. For the first 3 days, Naya and Jude barely left the bedroom. I brought them food, made sure Jude ate every few hours, checked on them constantly. Naya watched me like a hawk, waiting for me to call someone, waiting for me to betray them. But I didn't. On the 4th day, Jude came out of the bedroom on his own when I came home from the shop. Hi, Nolan. Hey, buddy. How are you feeling? Better. Can I watch TV? Sure. He curled up on the couch, watched cartoons, laughed for the first time since I'd met him. Naya stood in the doorway watching him, watching me. Thank you, she said quietly. You don't have to thank me. You could have called the police, you didn't. I promised I wouldn't. People break promises. I don't. She looked at me for a long time. Then she nodded. Okay. A week later, I made a decision. I was lying awake on the couch at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, thinking about the situation I was in. I had 2 children living in my apartment. Illegally. I wasn't their guardian. I wasn't even related to them. If anyone found out, I could be arrested for kidnapping. Naya and Jude would be taken away. They'd go into foster care. They'd be separated. But if I did nothing, what would happen? They couldn't live here forever in secret. Jude needed to see a doctor regularly. Naya needed to go to school. They needed stability, safety, a real home, and they needed someone who wouldn't let them be separated. I pulled out my phone, Googled how to become a foster parent in Washington state. It was a long process, background checks, home visits, training classes, references. But it was possible. If I could become a licensed foster parent, I could take Naya and Jude legally. I could keep them together. I started the application that night. The next morning, I told Naya what I was doing. I'm going to become a foster parent, so you and Jude can stay with me, legally. She looked terrified. They'll find out we ran away. Probably, but if I'm your foster parent, they can't separate you. Are you sure? No, but I'm going to try. Why? Because you're a kid. You shouldn't be living in a car. And you shouldn't have to choose between staying together and being safe. What if they say no? Then we'll figure something else out. What if they take us away? I won't let them. She started crying. For the first time since I'd met her, Naya, the brave 8-year-old who'd been taking care of her brother for months, broke down. I'm so tired, Nolan. I'm so tired of being scared. I hugged her. I know, but you don't have to be scared anymore. I've got you. The foster parent process took 4 months. 4 months of background checks, home visits, training classes, and bureaucracy. During that time, Naya and Jude lived with me quietly. I kept them out of sight as much as possible. Homeschooled Naya using free online resources, made sure Jude saw a doctor regularly, paid out of pocket, claimed he was my nephew. It was terrifying. Every knock on the door could be CPS. Every phone call could be the end. But slowly, Naya and Jude started to relax. Naya smiled more. Jude laughed more. They started calling my apartment home. And I started to realize something. I wasn't stuck anymore. For 6 years, I'd been going through the motions. Wake up, work, go home, repeat. My life had no meaning, no purpose. But now I woke up and made breakfast for 2 kids who needed me. Now I came home and helped Naya with math homework. Now I played card games with Jude before bed. I wasn't just existing anymore. I was living. The social worker came to my apartment on a cold Tuesday in December. Her name was Ms. Alvarez. She was in her 50s, professional but kind. She interviewed me, inspected the apartment, asked about my income, my background, my reasons for wanting to foster. Then she asked to speak with Naya and Jude. I'd coached them, told them to be honest, told them it would be okay. But I was terrified. Ms. Alvarez sat down with Naya in the living room. Jude stayed with me in the kitchen, playing with toy cars I'd bought him. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I saw Naya's face, serious, focused. After 20 minutes, Ms. Alvarez came back. Mr. Moore, I need to be honest with you. My heart sank. Okay. Naya told me everything, about living in the car, about running away from foster care, about you taking them in without legal authority. I know it looks bad. It looks like you saved their lives. I blinked. What? Naya and Jude were reported missing from their foster placement 4 months ago. We've been looking for them. If you hadn't taken them in, if you hadn't gotten Jude medical care— She paused. Jude would likely be dead. So what happens now? Now, I recommend that you be approved as their foster parent, officially, legally. Are you serious? You've provided a stable home. You've kept them together. You've prioritized their well-being over legal technicalities. That's exactly what foster care is supposed to do. She smiled. Congratulations, Mr. Moore. You're going to be a foster dad. Naya and Jude became my official foster children in January. The first night after the paperwork was finalized, we celebrated with cake. Fresh cake. Jude ate 3 slices. Naya ate 2. Is this really happening? Naya asked. We get to stay. You get to stay for as long as you want. What if we want to stay forever? Then we'll figure that out too. She smiled, a real, Genuine smile. I'd like that. 6 months later, I started adoption proceedings. Ms. Alvarez helped me navigate the process. It took another year. Hearings, evaluations, more paperwork than I thought possible. But on a sunny day in July, a judge signed the papers. Naya and Jude were officially mine. Legally, permanently, forever. After the hearing, we went to the bakery. I'd closed it for the day. Mrs. Rose understood. Naya and Jude ran behind the counter, pretending to be bakers. "Nolan, can we work here someday?" Jude asked. "If you want to." "I want to. I want to make cake, so other kids who are hungry can have some." Naya looked at me. "Like you did for us." "Yeah, like that." That night I tucked Jude into bed. He was 7 now. Healthy, happy, obsessed with cats and chocolate cake. "Nolan?" "Yeah, buddy. Are you our dad now?" "If you want me to be." "I want you to be. Is that okay?" "That's more than okay." He hugged me. "I love you, Dad." I cried in the hallway after I closed his door. Naya was in the couch reading a book I'd bought her, something about dragons. "Hey," I said. "Hey, you okay?" "Yeah, just thinking." "About what?" "About that night, when I first asked you for expired cake." "What about it?" "I was so scared. I thought you'd say no, or call the police, or tell me to go away. Why didn't you ask someone else? There are other bakeries." "I did. 3 other places. They all said no. Or they ignored me. You were the only one who said yes." "I'm glad I did." "Me too." She paused. "Nolan, do you ever think about how different things would be if you hadn't?" "All the time. Jude would be dead, and I'd probably be dead too, or we'd still be in that car, alone. But you're not. You're here. You're safe. Because of you. Because you were brave enough to ask for help, even when everyone else said no." She smiled. "We saved each other." "Yeah, we did." 2 years later. Naya is 11 now. Smart. Confident. She wants to be a doctor. She says it's because doctors saved Jude. She wants to save other kids like him. Jude is 8. Healthy, loud. Obsessed with baking. He helps me at the bakery every Saturday. Mrs. Rose calls him the little chef. And me? I'm 37. I'm a father. Not a perfect one. I still mess up constantly. But I'm trying. Every day I'm trying. My life isn't stuck anymore. It's full. Chaotic. Exhausting. Beautiful. People ask me sometimes, "Wasn't it scary, taking in 2 kids you didn't know?" And I tell them the truth. It was terrifying. But walking away would have been worse. Because 2 years ago, a brave little girl asked me for expired cake. And instead of saying no, instead of ignoring her or calling the police or pretending I didn't see her, I said yes. And that one small choice changed 3 lives. Hers, Jude's, and mine. Have you ever had a moment where a small act of kindness changed everything? Or met someone whose quiet bravery humbled you? Share your story in the comments below. If this story about unexpected families and how one act of compassion can save more than one life touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe for more meaningful stories every day. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our next inspiring tale. Thanks for watching.